Welcome to the Week in Italian Startup, where we discuss the latest highlights happening in the Italian tech and investment ecosystem. Here we are. So, how are you, Nick? After a full week of craziness between some of the biggest event in Italy, Tech Chill and Italian Tech Week. It's been tough. It's been a tough past week, I would say.
Yeah, the hottest week in Italian startup ecosystem since I started the newsletter, at least.
Nice.
At least.
Perfect.
Not too shabby.
Yeah, everything kind of converged those weeks. Not only the events, but also some of the biggest announcements that they're bumping up the graph that we were following religiously, super high. So that's pretty awesome.
Yep. And we're gonna talk about it, right?
Yeah, let's get started. So let's talk with Satispay raising 320 million euro at a 1 billion valuation in a round led by Addition, Greyhound Capital, Cotu, Lightrock, and Mediolanum Gestione Fondi as a kind of a new entrant, I would say, because we've never crossed Mediolanum, if I remember well.
I don't know. I don't remember taking note at least of Mediolanum Gestione Fondi. This is another SGR. It is a fund manager. Yeah. So we are entering a new world here. It's not only venture capital anymore. Even though Tencent, I think Tencent was already a shareholder on the Satispay
in the previous round. So
round.
Another unicorn, man. Another horn just showing up in Italy. That's awesome news.
But it's a second one, and the jury's still out because there are people who are not considering the other one an Italian unicorn. So can't say we are in a forest of horns. That's for sure not true, but still good vibes. We got a unicorn. It's full Italian unicorn, 320 million. It's a huge round.
Yeah. Full equity, by the way, and then we're gonna talk how another big round is a kind of a mix, but this is full equity. So Satispay has incredible metrics about 3 million consumer, 200,000 merchants essentially on the platform. Already doing some big raise earlier this year, so they've been moving extremely fast. So this year has been a great year for them for sure. Big adoption, more capillary than any other paying app for sure, because it's simple, it's quick, is kind of the Italian Venmo. Well, I'm throwing it out there, right? It's
exactly.
Powerful.
It's independent. So I like the vision of the founders, what they say in the article. We are gonna build the new European payment network from scratch, basically. So
yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, no, I can tell. Super excited.
Sounds good.
You're excited, yeah. And it's a Series D, so very much of a later round. Yeah, I mean, big names into the round, so nothing to add there. Definitely, some people doubling down, some people being introduced, but definitely it's one of the highlights of last week for sure.
Did you notice that in the last couple of years, at least since I've been keeping track internationally, that larger rounds always have quite a wide range of investors? There's a lead always for sure that's making the rules, but there are a lot of investors. The lists are usually quite long. Not always, but usually
awesome.
Yes.
I would throw it out there again. I would say above 150 million, you see the international coming in. I mean, as if they're kind of waiting,
And they all come together.
And then when the thing hits, a series
back of walls.
Yes, exactly.
The
Series C, that's internationals, and they're coming in very fast and very heavy. So I mean, it's a good and a bad thing, because that's something also we discussed before. Italy's missing a little bit. We have seed round, but the market is still small comparatively to other markets. So maybe the Series A seed phase is still should need to grow. Well, it should grow. That's the idea. And no, beside that, the international market is open, and it's great news. Honestly, great news, because VC is not national anymore. It doesn't have any flag. I would say. I mean, we have the Nordics, the US.
Well, it can't be. There are no national markets in Europe. So there are very few national markets in Europe that are deep enough to host unicorns, or to be sizable enough for VC's returns.
Yeah, I agree.
So we need to have international players.
I agree.
Europe United is as big as the US altogether. I mean, and that's the minimum viable market. I don't know how to put it otherwise.
Totally agree.
Nice.
Totally agree. No, super excited. Another point, I mean, today we're going to focus on the big ones. I'm sorry for the other one, but they outshine everything else. So that's sorry for the listener, but today is the day. So another interesting thing is that the use of capital, and there was some mention in the article on TechCrunch on how they're gonna also work not only on essentially, of course, growing marketing, etc., but also in working on the buy now, pay later sort of framework. So that's something that has been a little bit anticipated, and probably they're gonna, easily transition into an additional element in their product, I would say. So that's pretty exciting too. It's become more popular. We've seen already big players in that space, and yeah, very interesting for sure.
Yeah, even though I wonder, is there something new with respect to what they do currently? Because if you think about it, Satispay is a credit network, whereas Klarna is a debit network. So
good point.
Basically, you charge Satispay with some credit and then you spend it. Allow me the simplification. Whereas Klarna has some, credit to give to somebody who's paying, who's buying something and will pay in installments. So that's basically the opposite. Are they going to go the bank route? So basically, you've got assets. Yeah. And you will start using them liabilities because wow. But anyhow, we'll see.
Yeah, I wonder how the end customer will react to that, or maybe if they will ever even notice. Maybe some people will be like, okay, fine, buy now, pay later, don't care, let's do that. It's radical in terms of way of thinking, but I wonder what will be the reaction and of the end user at the end. So that's I don't know, something to think about.
But I don't know. That's an interesting point. I don't know. We'll see. Well, it was all the rage during the 2020-2021, no? Yeah. As in terms of means of payment.
Totally.
Right now?
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, congrats to Satispay, congrats to Alberto. Awesome job. I mean, hands down, amazing, totally amazing.
What I have to say, thank you guys.
Exactly. Moving on, another big hit, Bending Spoons, a mobile app developer raising $340 million from several international investors and Italian banks. So these are kind of slightly different deals, and I thought it was interesting to kind of dig a little bit deeper into the details. So this is around the completely different product, completely different company, completely different business model for sure. Bending Spoon has been active since 2013, basically giving the world cool apps for creatives, video, a lot of different applications, and they've been doing extremely well with that business model essentially.
Yeah, if you want to, do you want to give a couple of numbers they are reporting publicly? So 500 million downloads their apps and 100 million revenues, more or less. So not a small company.
Incredible.
Not at all. They've got some pretty heavy hits in terms of App Store apps. one in the video editing, one in the photo editing, I believe. So very popular, very consumer apps, and great execution.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the big takeaway. These guys have been like masters of building. That's really the deal. Yeah.
And we get to the point of this round because at first sight you might wonder why this type of round. Yeah, 300 million in debt and 40 million in equity. 40 million in equity, I understand, of course. 300 million in debt. I mean, they're not Casavo. So the point, the intuition is that they've been growing not just organically by ideating the apps, but they've also been acquiring apps from the outside and, let's say, casting the magic spells in order to have these apps grow quickly from their properties.
Yeah, I think
so. Probably they're gonna spend this money acquiring targets, so expanding the app base, app catalog.
And my guess is that it's gonna be no small acquisition. It's probably gonna be like a big hitter, not just a bunch of like smaller one. I was researching a bit, and they were trying basically to acquire Grindr some time ago.
Yes.
And crazy, 260 million. And super interesting play. I mean, very niche space. Well, niche. I don't know if it's niche or not. It's not niche anymore. It's been very popular and growing extremely fast. So that's a great addition to portfolio. So my guess is that with that money, probably we're gonna shoot to closing some deals of that caliber. So yeah, I think that's my prediction.
Yeah, take a close look at the top 20 in various consumer verticals in the app stores, because one of those top 20 might become part of Bendixpool's catalog.
Yeah. Super interesting. Yeah, what is interesting is that also we have an all-star panel of investor, but all-star like Hollywood all-star, not VC all-star. That's sometimes I'm conflicted about this kind of investor, because if it tastes like a marketing stunt in a way. So it's cool to say that Ryan Reynolds is in the cap table. So that's cool. But for the kind of product they're doing, it's kind of functional actually. Playing with video content and creator economy. Kind of makes sense. It makes sense to have like those kind of specific like non obvious investor, I would say.
Yep, I agree. And remember, quite a few Hollywood stars have set up their own VC funds. So
exactly.
That's something. Borders are overlapping a little bit, more and more.
Yeah.
But you're right. So at the end of the day, having Green Lantern and Deadpool in your cap table, that's not something
who wouldn't have Deadpool in the cap table? Come on.
Exactly.
So it's a no-brainer for sure. No, but awesome job again. Awesome job to the guys for sure. All right, Nick, you pick the next. We have time for another one-eyed highlight. So there are a few things happening, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, there are smaller rounds, a couple of seed and pre-seed rounds. I would say, you can read them on the newsletter. There's CDP Boost Innovation going for another joint venture with two companies in the manufacturing world, Punch and Mimete. And they created this Made in Ads, an additive manufacturing platform. So basically, as we said before, Boost Innovation is a particular fund within Cassa Depositi e Prestiti aimed at supporting open innovation coming from the industry. And the three players in this case are investing 19 million euros to set up this platform. So that's
not small for sure.
Not a small amount of money for something that seems to be manufacturing as a service platform in the additive manufacturing world. So
what is good, I think, has been valuable is the fact that really CDP is touching a lot of industries and keeps shocking us in a way with everything, pretty much everything. Like additive manufacturing is the cutting edge of what's gonna happen in the future to build homes. And yeah, there you go. You have deals happening in that space, and quite considerable deals. So that's
Exactly.
that's pretty interesting.
Exactly. And then in the readings of the week, I think there are a couple of fun bits.
Yes.
Like Google shelving the AI algorithms, Google Ventures shelving the AI algorithms they use to vet investments because it was becoming too much important in the investment committee. That's interesting. Like AI, say at your place.
Exactly. The AI has a seat which is becoming like too powerful and too big. So they're like, sorry, you're out the room now. That's awesome.
Exactly. They fired the AI.
They literally fired. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's...
And the other funny thing, talking about firing, is the European Commission. I've been touching upon this issue here and there in time, but basically the European Commission launched this EIC investment funds within a larger framework of supporting innovation in Europe. And this specific fund was supposed to invest in equity in approved startups, or co-investing in equity in approved startups, with the idea that private investors will not sustain some very deep tech, extremely complex technologies. So the European Commission will step in and sustain these startups.
Awesome.
The point is they haven't managed to deploy the capital. So there are startups that are waiting for money. They've been waiting for money since a couple of years ago, for at least a couple of years.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, in the news you can read stories of startups that are basically shutting down, waiting for the money they never receive it from the European Commission because of, who knows, they are discussing who's going to decide where to invest, when to invest, how to invest, and so on and so forth. So basically, they hired an external fund manager in order to sort it out. So understand how to deploy this fund.
Just speed the thing out and let's make it happen.
And there comes my proposal. Hire the Google AI algorithm.
And there you go. There you go. Take it off the shelf, throw it in Europe, and things are happening. Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting proposal.
Right?
Awesome. Nick, we are at 1.6 billion in 2022, right? According to the tracker. I was just double checking. So great rounds. Okay, we've seen like a number, of course, skewed by this big round, but it's part of the statistics. I mean, great news. And we are basically beginning of October, so we still might see something interesting. My feel is probably that we're probably gonna like probably, I don't know if like touch the 1.8, but definitely we're probably gonna get around like 1.7. I think I don't want to say that the year is done. We still have October to December. We still have like a nice some nice working months, but yeah, that's awesome because the trend is positive and way better than last year. So impressive.
Yeah, I agree with you. We should probably take a hard look at Italian VCs portfolios and see whether there's someone from this portfolio that might drop the bomb and get us beyond 1,800 million. Yeah, that might be a nice goal.
Awesome.
I don't know. We'll see. Let's take a look at the portfolios, and we can open. You can open a new
like a betting game with a prize.
Yes, open up to the public. So who's the next beyond 100 million?
Exactly.
That would be nice. We should try.
Really interesting. No, let's think about it.
For the listeners, send me an email. You know where from the.
We need a prize though. We need the prize, Nick. We need the prize. We need to think about the prize.
The winner will join the show and tell us how did they get the winner.
A deep dive with the winner, just to understand how they came up with that. Awesome. Nick, thank you so much. Always a pleasure. Great news. Super interesting episode. And I'll see you next week then.
Thank you, Jack. Have a great week. Ciao, everybody. See you in a week.